Well, Germany's done it again. If you've been following Redux for any period of time, you'll know just how radical Germany has been in promoting and even legislating gender ideology. From allowing trans-identified male convicts to serve time in women's prison, to transgender politicians calling for parents to be imprisoned for refusing to affirm their child's gender identity, it's undeniable how invested the nation has been in furthering the agendas of deluded men. But this time, German legislators have really outdone themselves. Because as of today, despite many protests from women's rights activists, Germany's radical self-identification law has officially gone into effect. The law, known as the Self-Determination Act, was first passed by Parliament on April 12th and not only establishes gender identity as a protected characteristic, but allows parents to change the sex marker on their children's documents from birth. Yes, from birth. Parents can transition their children the moment they breathe their first breath. Oh, but wait, there's more. Say your child was born before the law came into effect and you missed your chance to trans them right out of the womb. Don't worry, the law allows for children as young as 5 to change not just their legal sex, but their name so long as their parents give them permission to. Because an imaginative 5-year-old surely knows what's best for them and their future. Beyond the madness in the bill that targets children, the act vastly expands the protection of transgender individuals in law. It imposes a criminal fine of approximately $11,000 to expose a transgender person's birth name and birth sex without that person's permission. Not only is this horrible for civilians, but this is going to cripple the ability for reporters and women's rights groups to accurately report on crimes where a trans-identified male is involved. Although the law, which of course was staunchly supported by 2 transgender politicians, aims to empower citizens to change their gender and name without discrimination, we all know it's sickos and predators who are going to be empowered by this legislation. I mean, what kind of person would want to make a beautiful baby girl think she was a boy immediately upon birth? Or want to confuse their baby boy into believing he was a girl? I have some assumptions, and none of them are good. And this whole thing becomes a lot more suspect when you realize that this bill was endorsed by a pro-pedophile rights group. Yes, you heard that right. Redux sounded the alarm on this several months ago, but just to refresh your memory, a pedophile rights group in Germany was praising the self-identity bill because, and I quote, "trans kids are politically important for advancing pedophile rights." According to pedophile rights lobby group Crum 13, child sexuality as a whole must no longer be a taboo because pedosexual relationships are not conceivable without self-determined child sexuality. Well, there you have it. Right from the perverted horse's mouth. Trans activists don't seem to care that their ideology is endorsed by literal pedophiles, and German politicians clearly don't seem to care either. So who will? I'm Natasha Biazzi for Redux, and we're going to continue to keep a close eye on the situation in Germany because the world deserves to know what kind of sick social experiment they're running over there.